Hi everybody, it's Donna Fisher, and I wanted to do a quick video on the current events that are happening right now in the world. Today is March 20th, 2020, and as you're all aware, the situation right now with coronavirus has really attacked this world. I can honestly say that I'm not surprised because I've been on my own journey since 2012 that I was awakened, and I know that we've been preparing for this time. Those who have been on this spiritual path for a while, we've been preparing for this, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I didn't know what I was preparing for, but I knew that something was going to happen where we would actually be the ones to help other people get through whatever it is that we were going to have to achieve. So here I am, and I just wanted to kind of say, first of all, that in no way am I actually saying that I'm happy about this. And in no way am I saying that this is a positive thing, because there are a lot of people out there who are suffering. There are a lot of people who have died, and there are a lot of people who are in threat and in danger from this virus. So even if I'm coming from a spiritual standpoint, in no way am I going to say that this was much needed or anything like that, because in all reality, it's not the best thing to really say. What I'm saying is that I'm not surprised by it. And I didn't realize that it would be at this magnitude where we would have to shift like this. And it's actually been moving along for the last year or so, this shift. But the momentum has picked up. So I can tell you from a spiritual standpoint what this all means, because I'm sure that a lot of you have heard about it, but you know, all of humanity is going through their awakening process. We're all going through ascension, and we're all actually elevating our energy to a point where we're actually working from our hearts, not so much from our minds. So those of us who have been on this journey for a while have already been working at that, and we've been going through our own introspections and own reflections and our own inner work. So we've been through this path. Now, again, we haven't had this kind of circumstance before, but it actually, what most of us, a lot of us who have been on the light work path have been preparing for this. So I'm just going to say that it is without a doubt nothing that I was expecting to see, nothing that I thought was going to come in this way, but it is here, and it's here right now, and we're going to deal with it. And the way we're going to deal with it is what I'm going to tell you in this video, and to help you get through this, because you can get through this. We are all in this together. This is going to bring unity to our planet. It's going to bridge the dimensions, which, you know, if you're not familiar with dimensions, but our third dimensional frequency is more operating from the mind. We're going from the mind to more of a heart consciousness, which is fifth dimension. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you, no pun intended, what Spirit has to say about this, and help you to understand, number one, what's going on a bit deeper level, and number two, what you can do to help your own energy, your own peace, your own ability to be able to handle these circumstances in these times. So I want to start by saying that you're not in this alone. You're not in this alone. There are people out there that want to help, and you should turn to people, in whatever way, in whatever capacity you need. There are people there that are out there wanting to help. Whether you have friends or family, reach out to them. There are plenty of resources out there to help you. You're not doing this alone. So I just want you to know that we're all in this together, and if anything, nobody should feel alone. One of the reasons, what I've been shown, one of the reasons this is happening collectively on our planet right now is because people have been so engrossed and so busy in their lives with just all work. And the thing is that everything was work to achieve an end mean. What I mean by that is that people were working towards a goal, a long-term goal mostly, for retirement, for the next vacation, for something that was going to bring them joy. But they weren't living in the moment as much and living their joys and passions every single day. So really what's been happening is that, as we're shifting on this planet, we're helping the collective to shift as well. So the thing is that something needed to happen in order for people to stop, in order for people to pay attention and to stop what they're doing. And to know that, money is not everything, status isn't anything actually, and what really is important right now. What's really important? The most important thing that we have, that we have down here and anywhere, wherever you're at, is love. And the thing is that without love, it doesn't matter what you have materialistically, because you really need to have love and connection in order to have a joyful and satisfied life. If you don't have those things, obviously we need the money, okay, to be able to live, but that comes as your energy is based in love. You will get what you need in this life. Okay, you will get that abundance. But if you come from a scarcity mindset, then that'll mean that you're not actually getting what you want, really, because you're just going to be pulling at straws all the time. So that's one of the reasons why this is happening on a collective level, because there's been so much of this all work and no play. And I'm going to show you that this is what came up in the card. Okay, so as you can see down here, it says all work and no play. It says, ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. Does that sound like you? Does that sound like it could have been your life? Or has something happened in your life and you've slowed down a bit? Have you had balance in your life? If you've had balance, you'll be able to get through these times a lot better. But if you have been more unbalanced and living more from a standpoint of materialism and not enough spirituality, not enough love in your life, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to navigate. But you will get through this, okay? There's going to be plenty of help. There's going to be plenty of resources for you. There's plenty of resources on the internet. And I am here also to help you out during this time. I myself, I'm in the medical field. I'm a nurse anesthetist. And I actually have to balance the two in my life. I have to actually research and do my work and to know what's kind of going on out there with this coronavirus, with how to protect myself, with how to treat others, what kind of protective gear are we using, all the current treatment options, stuff like that. I have to prepare myself. So I am looking at things all the time, not all the time, but a lot of times to see what's going on out there. Not only that, it's very difficult for me sometimes to actually be grounded and balanced. So that's my other thing, is that you have to be able to ground yourself during this time. And especially if you're the kind of person who is a light worker, meaning that you mute those lower energies and not necessarily know that you're doing it. You would be actually one of those people who actually may be absorbing energies like a sponge. What you have to do is you have to ground yourself. And if you don't know how to ground yourself or what that means, it's basically what it means is that you're kind of getting caught up. The energy is kind of taking you away. It's causing your energy to get scattered, okay? And it's causing you to not be able to be inside your own energy. You're picking up too much information and energy from people. Now, You may not even have to be in the same room with these people. We pick these things up collectively, okay? Especially you're very sensitive and you're very intuitive. You're going to pick this stuff up. What I could tell you what works for me, but I can give you some examples and things that you can do for yourself. So for me, what I've been doing a lot lately to ground myself is cleaning. Yes, I've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. I've been painting, working on my house, shampooing rugs, doing things, working out. Like, the gyms are closed, okay? So I can't go to the gym. But people have been so innovative and creative with what they need to do to be able to help others and to make themselves feel satisfied. They actually, one of my gym instructors, who I absolutely adore, she does a live video every single day. And then if you can't make it, you just kind of go back on there and you replay it. So, doing, weight training, doing videos, working out, going outside in nature, taking walks, the being by large bodies of water is a wonderful thing if you live by the beach or by a lake or a stream. I know if you might not feel like dancing right now, but dancing is very grounding. A lot of things that, that you do, walking on the earth, walking outside in your bare feet, being on the grass, gardening is a great way of grounding. And I can go on and on. You can research it. You could Google ways to ground. I'm sure there's so many different ways that, I could probably spend like so much time to talk about that. But grounding your energy is very crucial right now. And if you start to feel ungrounded, you start to feel scared, you start to feel anxious or panicked or any way, try to get your mind off of it. Try to get your mind off of it by doing some of those things that I talked about, getting yourself outside, getting some fresh air, meditating is a wonderful tool also, but I know a lot of people don't know how to do it, to be able to silence their mind. But I would also say that meditation is very important right now. The other thing is that, and that's actually perfect because this next card, it talks about that. So this here is the Four of Winter. So it looks like, this person is like sleeping in this tree, cocooned in Mother Earth here. And everything's kind of it's like hibernation, everything is kind of just on standstill. Everything's on hold. So I'll just read what this says. It says, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation. The need for more sleep or a vacation. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. So it's basically, again, grounding yourself, placing your concerns aside, letting go the things that you can't control. You can't control what's happening right now. The only thing you can control is your energy. And in that way, and what I mean by that is actually taking care of your energy and taking care of yourself. Don't make any hasty decisions right now. I got that too. Financially, like if you actually have, money set aside and you have money that is in funds and things like that. I was shown that we're going to bounce back from this. But, it's at your comfort level. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But for me personally, I felt very strongly guided to say, some things are better left alone. Don't go into panic mode and start doing things based on what is happening right now in this moment, because this will pass. This will pass. We're going to get beyond this. And from what I've been shown and what I've actually written also is that it really depends on everybody out there, how long this is going to last for. If everybody follows what they're supposed to be doing in the social isolation and staying away from people 6 feet and not going out and being around groups of people and limiting your trips to the stores for essential items, I don't think I have to say all of it, but hand washing and, stuff like that. If people follow what we're supposed to be doing, then I've been shown hands down, no pun intended, but that this will not last that long. I mean, we can get through this. I'm going to say April, May, but if people continue to choose to do what they want to do and not consider this a public health crisis, then it's going to last a little bit longer. And I'm not saying we're going to be totally out of the woods, but the majority of it will be gone, and we can actually breathe again a little bit more of a sigh of relief. Things could start to lighten up a bit more. So I'm just saying, if everybody can hang in there and do what they're supposed to be doing and doing their part in this and working on your energy to get out of that fear mode. And I'm not saying not to prepare yourself, and I'm not saying not to be cautious, but there is a difference between doing that and being scared. And I know I can't tell people not to be scared because that's at your level of consciousness. But I'm trying to tell you ways of trying to get more balance so you can actually feel less scared, to the point where maybe you start to feel more neutral and maybe more like, not having that fear before you start to get to a place of peace. So maybe it will be a gradual thing, but I mean, it can be done if you do the things energetically for yourself that that we're talking about in this video. So again, meditation's another big thing. If you can meditate at least 10 minutes a day, there are so many guided meditations out there right now. I mean, it's been out there, but most people probably haven't had the time to do this. So if you are not the kind of person who could just put some like light music on and meditate, then I would suggest a guided meditation to help you with relaxation. And that's kind of more of a hypnosis type of thing, because it takes you into like a guided imagery. Go on YouTube and just, find the meditation that you are called to do. Get the rest that you need to, that you really, really need, because a lot of people have been overworking themselves. So this is going to give you the opportunity to get that extra rest. And what also is interesting is that, we're finding ways to actually connect with each other. People who didn't feel connected before are finding ways of connecting with family again, with friends. And again, it's creative ways if you're not in the same household. There's FaceTime, there's the phone. You could still talk to somebody. I mean, you just got to be 6 feet away from them, and it's better to be outside talking to somebody than to be in your house in an enclosed area. So this is going to open up those avenues for people to actually start talking to each other again and start to connect on a more intimate level than ever before, because you're going to have more time to do it. Because unless you're in one of the professions that, you're doing, you're still working, in healthcare, and you're, or you're a first responder, or in retail, we're actually in, groceries and, the food industry, any of those essential places, you'll still be working. But again, there's going to be times where you actually can take a break and work on your energy, because it's so necessary, especially if you're working in one of those places. It really is. You really need to have balance in your life and be in a place of peace and calm, because without that, you kind of get sucked right back in. And I know it's really difficult sometimes because there's so much information out there. There's the news is constant. I mean, this is all over the place, and that's my other point in this. Please go to your websites directly for information such as the CDC, the WHO, your state website, your government, or whatever. Do not just take whatever information you get off of social media and think that's actually the truth, because what's going to happen is that you spread that information to everybody else, and people who aren't as intuitive to know that it may not be good information, we'll just go with it, and it just gets spread, and it actually causes more fear in people. So just please be responsible with your information, and also be responsible with getting the information that is actually accurate and true. The other thing that came up is, okay, I've been saying this, that this has been a long time coming, but Spirit really wants you to let go of people and situations that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. Unmarried or divorced individuals is kind of what this card says. So what is happening right now is, if you have not let go of people or situations or relationships or anything, or a career that no longer has suited you, that you were unhappy in, it's going to probably fall away. Look, you're in quarantine basically with whoever you're with. Now, if you don't really want to be with that person, it's going to be really tough for you, and you will really find out, if you had doubts before, you're really going to know for sure what your take on it is after this period of time, because anything that's not based in true love is going to fall away. And it may not fall away completely all at once, at the same time. I mean, like, I guess I should say right after all this happens immediately, but it's kind of coming, it's going along that path. So things that no longer serve you, and I've been saying this for years, that, trying to help people figure this out, because, people get very stuck in attachments, which are not necessarily, attachments are not based in love. Okay. That's really the bottom line. Attachments are not based in love. So what happens is that you get attached to a person because you've been with them for so long, and there could have been this, this connection before. Most often it's a karmic connection, and it fades over time. And what happens is that people get into this situation where they don't know how to break free of it. So this challenging time is going to show you the truth. Okay, it's the veils, or the masks, I should say, the masks are coming off. And people have been so busy that maybe they weren't really paying attention, or actually some people buried their heads in the sand, and didn't want to pay attention to it. They didn't have time to deal with it. But in reality, that stuff, those relationships are going to bring you down. They're going to bring your energy down, so they're going to dissolve. Okay. And they need to dissolve. They need to be let go of. So if you haven't done this already, and haven't let go of things and people that no longer serve your best interests, that are not based in love, it's coming. Okay. I mean, it's clear. I've been seeing this already for a while, but this is actually one of these big things that are causing this stuff to be let go of. And I think this has a lot to do with marriage, because that came up actually in the description. It's marriages that are not suited, or that are not based in love. And I think that these are going to be, it's probably not going to happen at the time that you're dealing with all this, because there's too much. But at the end of this, you're going to know that, what, your mortality is being triggered right now. Okay. Your life on this earth is being triggered right now. For people who are more balanced and more spiritual, they're going to be less afraid. Okay. Because we have, you get to this place where you feel more at peace, that, it's not like, you want to die or anything like that. You don't want anything bad to happen, but you understand that this is just temporary, our time here on earth, that there is a bigger picture, and you understand that there are no accidents in this universe, and we all are going with the flow. So people who have ignored, or not ignored, maybe not consciously ignored, but they've been too busy to make spirituality a part of their life, and balancing mind, body, and spirit, are going to be really like, I feel like what I saw is like this vacuum, okay? You're going to be in this like vacuum, and you're going to feel like you're going to be like getting sucked in to something. And if you want to be there, it's not going to feel like you're getting pulled to that place, because you're going to actually be able to get out of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're going to see that you're not going to want to be there if you're not going to, if this isn't for you, okay? And it's going to try to suck you in, but you are going to be strong enough to get out of it, because the universe is assisting people to actually be able to let go of these things. And that's the other thing. The universe is going to help you be able to let go. The other thing that came up is careers. So people were in careers that were not, that they weren't happy in, you know, and those have fallen away in a lot of circumstances. And unfortunately, it means that some people are out of a job, and that's just temporary. But I can honestly tell you, and what I got is that people are being very creative in what they're doing right now to help people. People are sewing masks for healthcare workers because they're low on protective equipment. You know, people are really finding ways of creating solutions to actually help humanity. And it's bringing everybody together. It's kind of like we're all in this together. And that's the unity consciousness that this was meant to serve. So you will find your purpose. You will find a way. Spirit will show you the way. And I can tell you honestly that those careers or missions or life purposes that are based in helping others somehow is going to bring you the most fulfillment most often. So it's you know, every industry has its own way or own thing of, you know, the purpose of what it serves. And generally speaking, it all does serve, you know, the population in one way or the other. But this is actually going to bring more love into it, because it's not going to be based out of, and I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying that you don't need money or there's not a need for money, but it's going, the first priority of doing something is going to be based from your heart. You're going to see something, you're going to be triggered by something, and you say, how can I help? What can I do? That is based from your heart. And the secondary gain from that is going to be the money. It's going to, the universe will give you the money, will provide the resources that you need to achieve it. Because I can tell you that I've been fortunate enough to be on my path, to be actually doing what that I came here to do in the medical field since I was 20 years old, and I'm 47 now, so I've been doing this for 27 years. And again, like I said, I've awakened in 2012 and started working on my own spirituality and for my own business on the side on Reiki, energy healing, spiritual life coaching, and you know, intuitive guidance. These are all things that I've been working on. So I kind of have this dualistic approach to what I was supposed to be doing here on this earth, which I also integrated my job, you know, being in healthcare, but I'm also balancing the two. So both of these things bring me great joy and fulfillment. So you're going to find a way of being able to serve others. And by serving others, you're going to feel prosperous. And then that's when you get more prosperity. And I think what I was saying is that the universe has always been supportive of me and has always provided. And I'm very fortunate for everything I have and very grateful, because I really do feel like if I wasn't doing my life purpose, if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing and following my soul, that I would not be abundant, you know. And I think that's where what I was saying earlier is that, you know, you kind of get out of scarcity mindset, because once you start really following your soul in doing things out of love and love for yourself, then everything else will fall into place and you don't have to worry. So the bottom of the deck here that I pulled here is this card here. It's the Three of Autumn. It says, follow your passions when it comes to your career, which I just talked about. Be the best at what you can do. Being compensated for your creative talents. So again, it's being that, having that creativity and finding ways to help people during this crisis. There are plenty of jobs out there, if you were laid off, that will hire you to help out. And look out for new jobs as we evolve in this whole thing. Even if it's temporary work, you know, getting out there and delivering food to people, or, you know, I know that Amazon was hiring. I know that there's other things that you could be doing. Like I said, I see things like every day, like that's like something new every day. I mean, I think they were talking about like car plate, like, you know, car manufacturers like making ventilators. I mean, we're getting creative here with what we need to do, because I mean, we have to, you know, I mean, this is something that is bringing us together, and we're all in this together because we're all here on earth right now, and we're all connected. And when we help somebody, we're helping ourselves. It's like, you know, if you believe in karma, you know, it's like, you know, you're getting good karma, you get it back somehow. So the other thing is, again, here, this card came up, it's daydreams and decisions. So a lot of people are going to be having to make these decisions, you know, but what I feel that, again, this is going to be coming from your heart. And right now there's so much going on. There's so many things that are like, so much energy that's flying around. It's best to not make a decision right now unless you have no control over it. I mean, if obviously you lose your job, you know, or you have time off, then, you know, maybe that's Spirit's way of guiding you into something more. If, you know, it's encouraged that you kind of just take the time that you need to process things before you actually come to a full decision. Because, you know, when you're in the midst of something like this, it's kind of better to wait until, you know, the energy settles down a bit before moving forward. This is really, really not only testing your solar plexus chakra, which is actually a place where your courage, you know, resides. It also is actually upgrading or activating your solar plexus to be able to actually make those decisions that maybe you also put off. You know, the things that you really wanted, the things that were in your heart that you really were afraid to do, because maybe you feared that you weren't going to get enough money from it, or you feared that, you know, you were going to lose out money. I think a lot of this is based in money and about materialism, you know, and this is going to kind of get rid of that, because as you can see what's going on, that, you know, it's kind of stripping you down to kind of like almost like a bare minimum. And, you know, people are going to start to realize that money isn't everything. You know, your happiness and connection and love is really more important. And the money will come. Again, it's secondary. But you have to be able to get to that, almost like that rock bottom, where you feel like you have not much to lose, you know, because are you going to be like stuck in this place and just feel unfulfilled? Or are you going to move forward and go with what you feel is going to bring you the most happiness, you know, and not be a martyr for everybody, and, you know, not feel like you have to carry the world on your shoulders? Because I can tell you from my own personal experience that if you don't fill your own cup, You can't expect anybody else to fill that cup for you. You have to be able to fill your own cup. And only then can you actually help others and be of service. Because if you constantly are the giver and don't take time to fill your own cup, you will get depleted. And when that cup gets depleted, your energy goes down. And you actually feel like, it's almost like you're always walking around with like no energy. So it's one of those things that this is going to push people to actually do the things that, I think that have a lot of people know. A lot of people know what they've wanted, but a lot of people just haven't had the actual push to do it. So this is pushing people. And also, lastly here, this card came up. It's called Find Balance. So again, something I talked about. So this is actually pushing people to find more balance, to have more balance in their life. Because again, it's not about your status. It's not about who you are. It's actually about what you do and how happy you are in your life. And who do you have in your life? Are this the person that you are with? Do they truly love you? Do you truly love them? Are they somebody that you are, have a deep connection with? You're the place that you work, the friends that you keep, the people that you interact with. Are they meaningful to you? Do you feel that connection? Doing something that you love and making money is a great thing. I mean, if you can find that balance and not do all work and no play, because when you're in that kind of mode, that's when everything falls to shit. Okay. I can honestly tell you that, I just knew too many people that, never took time to just, barely took time to sit back and relax because, I guess maybe they had so many bills because they had so much stuff, minimize. This is causing people to have to minimize, figuring out, what is it that, what is truly necessary? What do I want to pay for? Do I need to buy that $100,000 car? Not that I could ever, like, I wouldn't even want that, but some people are like that, and now people who have all these big things are saying to themselves, they're not even sure if they're going to be able to pay for it now, because a lot of it's been, they were probably like, got loans out. They probably didn't pay cash. Or, they're just, thinking that, their employment's been cut so short that things have changed overnight. So, and then you have those people who, weren't really making a whole lot of money, but they were still happy. And then there was people who were still in that energy of scarcity. So they weren't getting, their abundance was still not flowing to them. So this will all help everybody, whatever boat that you're in. This is going to help pull you together and figure out what really, you're meant to be doing. If you follow your own inner guidance. And lastly, I want to say is this card came out is nurture. So this is, getting out in nature, nurturing your body, nurturing yourself. The sun is a great way of recharging yourself. I myself have been taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C actually before this even happened. I don't know. It's almost like I was just following Spirit's guidance to start doing that. I started taking turmeric after this. I actually had it. I bought it like a month ago and took it for a few days, and then I stopped taking it. So I started taking that again. Eating healthier. Listen, if you still smoke, I really highly encourage you to quit. I mean, really, because this virus attacks your lungs. And if you are a smoker, your lungs are already at half capacity, depending on how much you smoke. And I could tell you, when we give anesthesia to these people, it's not easy, because you have a buildup in your lungs from the smoke. Just think about it. You're actually, putting in a pollutant into your lungs, and it's causing, trauma to them. That's basically, without getting scientific about it, you're causing trauma to it. So even us, when we give you anesthesia and we do surgery, or a procedure for you, not that we're doing it, but we're putting you under, it's, you're just more prone to complications when you're a smoker. So knowing what this virus does, there's certain things you can't control, but you can control that. And if people say, well, I've been smoking already, what's the point? No, I'm telling you, if you quit smoking, you will have some of your lung function reversed, depending on how far along you are. But I'm going to tell you, even if you have some irreversible damage, you have COPD, or you have, something else in your lungs that you have long-term effects from smoking, when you quit, you're actually going to be able to increase the oxygenation that you have in your lungs. So you don't want to continue smoking because you think that it's not going to make a difference anyway. It will make a difference. And if there's one thing that I can encourage and I can make a difference by telling you that, also knowing that, being in the medical field, is that it's one thing that you can control and do. But nourish your body, nourish it with as many healthy foods as you can get. Boost your immune system. Research, you're going to have so much time. Research ways of boosting your immune system. What foods are really good for you, that have high vitamin C content, antioxidants and stuff like that. There's a lot of things out there, fresh fruits and vegetables, things like that. And, eating less processed foods. And getting out in nature, and, doing those walks and doing those exercises, even if you don't have the capability of doing like these heavy workouts or anything like that. And again, being responsible about it, social distancing, and not being around other people that aren't in your immediate household. So, I think with that, I think that's, boy, I guess I can talk. It's 42 minutes. Oh my gosh. Look, if you don't want to listen to this whole thing, you probably didn't make it this far, but, sorry, like, it just kind of comes out what needs to be said. The final remarks, I think what I want to make is basically, this is going to pass. And this can pass quicker if we really, really do our parts in this. And not only are we following guidance from, the president and our local government about social distancing and not going out for non-essential things, because a lot of stores are already closed anyway. So you're kind of being forced one way or the other, but also working on your energy and finding that balance and really getting to a place of peace, because we cannot control what's going on right now out there. So being in a state of fear is actually going to make it worse. Really, it's going to actually decrease your immune system by living in that lower energy. Not only will you have a lower immune system, you're actually affecting the collective, because we are all connected. Whether you believe it or not, you will see. We are all connected. We all come from the same source. We all come, what you want to call it, God, the universe. We all come from the same place, okay? And we are connected. It's just a matter of people have forgotten that. People have lived in that separation consciousness and being separate from each other. And that's really what we are evolving. We are evolving for everybody to feel more united and more connected. So know that you're doing this not only for yourself, but you're doing it for your fellow human being, your fellow, or your soul tribe. You're doing this for everybody, and know that you can make a difference. You can make a difference in this. And I've seen it. I know it. I know that if we all come together in this hard time and really focus our efforts and, you know, like the power of prayer. It's the power, the prayer is the energy. It's all of us bringing our energies into one place and making it a focus to actually, and I would say, don't focus on what's out there right now. Focus that it's gone, okay? Focus that it's not there. Focus on a new world, on a new earth, that things are, you know, so much better than before, you know? And I'm not saying to ignore what's happening today, because you can't ignore that, but not too much focus where it creates fear in you. You know, we're focusing on what you want to see and not what you don't want to see. And that's going to help the situation and get rid of this bug, you know, that was, you know, put out there, you know, because we are going to win this and we will get through this together. So I think that's it. I'm going to close 45 minutes. Again, my name's Donna Fisher. I am going to leave my information and my details below this video. If you would like personal assistance or, you know, have any questions, please feel free to post them underneath this video, comments, and any other topics you want me to cover. I would be happy to do so. And I wish you all so much protection, so much love, and so much peace, and so much balance and courage and faith that we as a whole and all of humanity are in this together. We will get through this. We will do this. And we will be better than before. All right, guys, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your neighbor. Take care of your family. And take care of your energy. Bye.